All right, so the Fever dropped game 1 against the Connecticut Sun. There's a lot of things surrounding this game that we're gonna cover. This series is gonna be very physical. Not even just this series. If the Fever are able to get past the Sun and move on to the next round, it's gonna be an extremely physical playoff series. For the Fever and especially for Caitlin. Because she's gonna be the main focus of every team's defensive game plan. So there's gonna be a lot of plays like this. See how she got hit in the eye right here. I think she got left with a black eye.
Now there's nothing Indiana.
Oh, that definitely hurt. Then you could look at her eye right there. Even on Caitlin's end, there's going to be some plays like this. And it's going to be like that the whole entire playoffs. On the NBA, and I'm guessing the WNBA based off this game today, there's a looser whistle. They're going to let people be more physical compared to the regular season because they understand what's at stake. The intensity is at all-time highs. So, they got to let players play. So she has this almost going to be an adjustment. Like, y'all know when she was struggling to start the season, she's almost going to face that same adjustment period. I think she'll figure it out quick, because she's kind of in tune now. But she's going to have like a slight adjustment period and then she'll figure it out, of course. But it's going to be physical. It's going to be very, very physical, the entire series. She's going to be bruised up. They're able to make it far. So I think that's kind of expected. This was Caitlin's comment on it. I'm going to play the clip.
Obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down. And obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball better than I usually do, which is a positive. But overall, coach in the locker room, we were down 3 in the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. The flow of the game was really bad. I don't know if that was the ref being, it's probably partly us because we struggled to get stops at times, but also the clock getting messed up was one thing after the next. But overall, it didn't bother me. Obviously, it didn't feel too good when it happened, but it is what it is.
You guys heard her mention the clock issue and found this very unprofessional. I know they said it ended up not being the ref's fault because they said that the ref's whistle actually adjusts the shot clock or something like that. I think he said that during the game today. I think from the start of the game, the moments where they were catching momentum, there was an issue with the clock. Like for example, this here. This is the clip of them talking about the clock.
Holly, what do you got on the clock situation?
Yes. All right, so it is an equipment violation. The refs wear these packs on their belt that when they blow the whistle, it triggers the clock. Well, something's working wrong on that, so when they're triggering it, it shouldn't be triggered. So they're going to take those packs off and just do it manually from here on out.
I knew it wasn't my people in Connecticut.
That's the thing. Even then, that shouldn't be an issue that you deal with, especially during the playoffs. Because I didn't hear nothing like that during the regular season. I don't know if it happened during the regular season, but I never saw a headline where it said, oh, they're having issues with the clock and all this other stuff. Because in the playoffs, that's a real momentum killer. You're on a fast break, you have to stop because the shot clock didn't reset. That's a real, as a hooper, if you're a hooper, that's a real momentum. That kills momentum. That could dictate the entire game. So that's something they got to clean up going into game 2. That line from today, Caitlin Clark versus the Suns. 11 points, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. He had a rough game. Positive side, this came out prior to the game, so let's say Caitlin Clark makes her WNBA playoff debut today. And her game against the Connecticut Sun is the most expensive first-round WNBA game ever. And, this also came out. Since Caitlin Clark finishes 4th in WNBA MVP voting, she did not receive a single first or second place vote. I thought she would get at least some type of vote. I didn't think she wouldn't receive any votes. I knew she wasn't going to win. I told you guys that A'ja Wilson was going to get it, but I felt like her and A'ja were top 2. I'm surprised she finished 4th place. I thought she should have been higher than 4th place, but I'm not surprised she didn't get any first place votes. I am surprised she didn't get any second place votes. That kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but I knew A'ja Wilson was going to win, but I said rookie of the year she was going to get that, which she did, so that's dope. But years to come, she's going to get a lot of MVP awards. That's definitely expected to happen. Ask Caitlin Clark about this, so I'm going to play the clip for y'all.
I don't really care. My life is very unaffected by that. I'm just going to try to go out there and help my team. Obviously our goal is to get to the playoffs, but I have a belief that, we can come in here and we can win this series, but approaching it one game at a time. So I think that's where my focus is, but obviously it's pretty night and day from where we first started. So I feel like that's something to be proud of and to find confidence in, and yeah.
But I think, also you got to give the Suns some credit. They had a pretty good defensive game plan. The thing with the playoffs, you know you're gonna play a team. However many times you play them, you're gonna see different adjustments, which is why, like in the NBA, one game a team gets blown out by 40, and then the next game they beat the other team by 40, because the playoffs is just constant adjustments. It's gonna be a pretty good series. I don't think it will be another blowout win, because hopefully they clean up all the stuff. But I expect the Fever to get some wins for sure. It could come down to the wire, but they have to make adjustments fast. Christie Sides had a comment, and also the Suns coach had a comment when they were talking about some adjustments. This was Christie Sides on the Suns defensive adjustments. They're gonna change up their schemes. They're gonna change the matchups.
I think they were going to make adjustments. They were going to change up their schemes. They were going to change the matchups. We had talked about getting back matchups that we wanted, that we thought would be helpful for us. I agree with what Kaylin just said. We scored 69 points, and we go back and watch this. I didn't really say much because I want to go back and watch and just kind of see. But I think we just, these guys are going to shoot the ball a lot better on Wednesday, and that's going to make a huge difference. And the first 3 quarters we battled. I think we got rattled in the third a little bit when they started hitting they hit some shots. But then we kept making shots, and then we really, that fourth quarter we stopped scoring. And then they had some late buckets, after the game was out of reach. But, some things that, some highlights, they had 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. I think we gave up 2 the rest of the game. We just got to find those positives. We had 23 assists on 27 baskets, and I'm pretty sure, like Caitlin said, when we go back and look, there were some wide open shots that would have given us even more assists right there. So, whatever matchup they come with, I still think we had some good looks. We just have to do a better job of hitting 50 points in the paint.
And that I agree with. It's not even that. They just couldn't get a rhythm. Like I just think they just couldn't get a rhythm. They'll be fine. I think they'll get some wins. They'll figure it out quick. They'll break it down. It was just a tough game. She's not gonna tell people exactly what she's gonna do. Well, this is her talking about her team today. So I thought this clip was pretty interesting, especially going into the next couple games.
Can it be?
Yes, it is. I'm proud of our girls. We challenged them on the defensive end of the floor, which they always do a great job on that end, but we needed to take it to another level, and I thought that they accepted that challenge. Obviously there's still some room for improvement for us. There's no question about that. And I thought the way we really shared the ball on offense was critical. We're a team that does like to create some offense from our defense, and we did that, but I thought our half-court execution, our pace, our willingness to make the extra pass or 2 if need be to get the best shot on the floor, recognizing matchups, and taking what the defense gave us was really good. We slowed down a little bit in that third quarter. We recovered. It felt like we got stronger as the game went on, and that's what it's going to take.
Questions? Emily?
We'll see what happens though. This is gonna be a great series. It's also gonna be great for the W. I look forward to seeing how everything plays out. Y'all let me know your thoughts on everything. Expect it to be a very physical series, and that's kind of expected. But how do you feel the Fever adjust to game 2? I think they got to do better to get the W in game 2, and how do you think the series goes as it progresses? So let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section, and as always, it's your boy.